My parents kicked me out of Thanksgiving dinner, saying my ordinary job was embarrassing in front of their son's girlfriend. I didn't argue. I simply closed the door quietly behind me and left. But 5 days later, when they discovered my hidden success and the truth about who I really was, the same people who had looked down on me stood at my door with tears in their eyes. Your job? This is what you're proud of, my mother said in front of everyone during Thanksgiving dinner. 16 people were sitting at the table, my brother's new girlfriend was there, and my father only said, "Maybe you should have done something better." I didn't argue. I picked up my coat and quietly walked out of the house. 5 days later, those same people were standing at my door. But this time they didn't have criticism. They only had apologies. My name is Emily Harper. I was 32 years old and I lived near Denver, Colorado. I had always been the daughter in my family that people described as simple. Not the loudest. Not the most noticeable. Not the one whose achievements became family stories. My brother Jason Harper was 35 years old. He was my parents' pride. A good job. An expensive car. A big house. My father Robert often said, "Jason understands how life works." My mother Carol always praised him. "He knows how to get ahead in the world." I would just smile. Because I knew everyone's path to success looked different. But my family never understood that. I worked at a small company. At least that was what my family knew. They didn't know what my real responsibilities were. They didn't know what I was building. And maybe that was my biggest mistake. I never told them. Thanksgiving Day looked normal. My mother's house was decorated like always. The turkey was cooking in the kitchen. Football was playing on the television. My nephews were making noise on the couch. Food covered the dining table. And my brother Jason's new girlfriend, Allison, was having dinner with the entire family for the first time. Allison was 30 years old. She was a marketing director at a major company. My mother liked her. A lot. "Allison, we're so happy Jason found someone like you," my mother said. Allison smiled. "You all are very kind." I quietly served myself food. Then Allison asked me, "Emily, what do you do?" I was about to answer. "I work at a technology company." But my mother immediately interrupted. "Oh, Emily just has a regular job." The table became silent. I looked at my mother. She was smiling. Like she had said something completely ordinary. Allison said, "Oh, okay." My mother shrugged. "Not everyone gets the kind of success Jason has." My father quietly said, "Carol, enough." But his voice didn't carry any strength. My mother didn't stop. "I'm just telling the truth. Emily has always chosen the safer path." I picked up my glass of water. "Mom, it's okay." She looked at me and smiled. Maybe she thought I was embarrassed. Then my brother laughed. "Honestly, Emily, did you ever think about doing something bigger?" I looked at him. "What do you mean?" He said, "I mean, you've always stayed in the same place." Allison looked uncomfortable and stared at her plate. I didn't answer. Because I knew. They didn't know my reality. Then my mother said the final thing. "Maybe you should leave early tonight." I looked at her in surprise. "What?" She said, "We want Jason and Allison to have some time together." The room went quiet. 16 people were sitting there. Everyone heard it. I looked at my father. He avoided my eyes. I placed my napkin on the table, picked up my bag, and stood up. "Okay." My mother probably expected an argument. But I said nothing. I simply opened the door and walked out. After sitting in my car, I stayed silent for a few minutes. Then I picked up my phone. I opened an email. "Congratulations, Emily. Your acquisition deal has been approved." I closed my phone. 5 days earlier, they thought I was just an ordinary employee. But they didn't know I was the founder of my own company. 2 years earlier, I started working from a small garage. I created a software solution that helped small businesses reduce their operating costs. At the beginning, my team had only 3 people. I did everything myself. The coding, the meetings, the conversations with clients. I never told my family. Because every time I mentioned something good happening in my life, the conversation always moved back to Jason. Jason bought a new car. Jason got promoted. Jason bought a bigger house. So I became quiet. But my company did not. Within 3 years, my company grew to hundreds of employees. And now, a major technology company was acquiring us. The deal would officially close in 5 days. And during that event my name would be announced. But my family knew nothing. 3 days later my brother called me. I didn't answer. Then my mother sent a message. We need to talk. I didn't reply. On the 5th day my company held the official event. It was a large hall. Investors were there. My team was there. My business partner and CEO Sarah Collins walked onto the stage. She said, "Today we want to recognize a woman who turned an idea into a successful company." My name appeared on the screen. Emily Harper. The applause started. Sarah continued, "Emily didn't just build a company. She created opportunities for thousands of people." Then came the announcement. After this successful acquisition, Emily Harper will become the Chief Operating Officer of the newly combined company. I walked onto the stage. I held the microphone. I'm grateful to the people who believed in me when there was no visible result yet. That was all I said. I didn't mention anyone's name. But the video was shared online. And within a few hours it reached my family. That same night my mother called. I answered. "Emily." Her voice sounded different. "You never told us." I said, "You never asked." Silence. Then my father took the phone. "Daughter, we are proud of you." I quietly asked, "Dad, are you proud of me because I succeeded? Or because now other people know I succeeded?" He didn't answer. The next day they came to my house. My father, my mother, and Jason. My mother knocked on the door. I opened it. She looked at me for a few seconds. Then she said, "We were wrong." I stayed silent. Jason said, "Emily, I honestly didn't know." I looked at him. That was the problem, Jason. Nobody tried to know. My mother's eyes filled with tears. "We thought you weren't happy." I replied, "No, Mom. You thought I hadn't reached the kind of success you wanted to see." She had nothing to say. Then something else came out. Allison had told them that after Thanksgiving she searched for my company online. She knew who I really was. But she didn't say anything. Because she wanted to see how my family viewed me. And now everyone had their answer. For the first time, my mother understood that the daughter she underestimated had quietly moved far ahead. Years have passed since then. My family is still part of my life. But the distance between us has changed. I forgave them. But I never forgot the night they asked me to leave simply because they didn't know my truth. On Thanksgiving Day they thought my ordinary job was my identity. They were wrong. My silence was never weakness. I was only waiting for time to answer. And 5 days later it did. Thank you for listening to this story until the end. If you enjoyed this emotional journey, please support us by giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel for more powerful and inspiring stories. Your support helps us continue creating meaningful content. We truly appreciate your time and being part of our community.